Learners, welcome to time management and goal setting. Now, both of them together will make sure that you have a successful career no matter what you choose to do. In this particular video, what we're going to focus on are just some strategies that I've utilized throughout my life. Strategies have been taught to me that are in coexistence with what you're being taught in your books and what you've been exposed to in your life. So the bottom line up front is success begins with goals that you set and you achieve. Think about this. How many times have you started a trip where you wanted to go somewhere, but you didn't know the direction? You didn't know how long it would take. You didn't even know what the end state of that trip would be. And if you did that, how many times were you successful on that trip? Did you actually achieve the direction, achieve what you were trying to do, or could say that you were successful at it? Guarantee you not many times, if any. That's what time management and goal setting will help you to do. Be successful in whatever choices you make. Now, when you think about that, sounds like it's pretty simple, but in reality it isn't. I like to think of it as I need to know what my direction is and where I want to end up so that I can make sure I start and know how long it's going to take me to finish the trip. We call them short-term, mid-range or mid-term, and long-range or long-term goals. Think about this. If you know what the destination is, then you absolutely can set up the path, the direction, the time, and any other aspects of that trip to make sure you're successful. In order to do that, I would say you should consider backwards planning. Backwards planning is knowing what the end state is and working backwards from there. One example is, I want to graduate from college and become a doctor. Well, you can't get there from here unless you know what it takes to get into medical school. By the way, what type of doctor do you want to be? You need to know what it's going to take to get in that particular field. And what if I get in that field, I know nothing about it, and I find out I don't like it? So maybe you should do a little research on that end state goal before you even start establishing that goal. If you have research, you plan it, and you execute it, you have a goal that is achievable. So let's talk about going backwards from that long-term goal to that mid-range goal. Well, I know in order for me to get in medical school, I must have a bachelor's degree. Well, the bachelor's degree could be considered a mid-range goal, but it also could be considered a long-range goal because it does take up to 4 years to achieve the goal. So, if you're saying that my long-range goal is to go to medical school, my mid-range goal is to get through my bachelor's, then for sure your short-term goal needs to be that of an Associate of Arts. Because under the 2+2 program, you finish your associate with us, you could transfer to any of our 12 universities. So now, my short-term goal is the associates. My mid-range goal is the bachelor's. My long-term goal is the medical degree, medical doctorate. Well, now I want to break those goals down to even more of a destination. So the Associate of Arts becomes my long-range goal. My mid-range goal might be something like achieving the end of my freshman year to my sophomore year. And my short-range goal would be that of achieving from now until I complete my 30 credits, completing my freshman year. Well, that's good. But now I need to break that goal down because the 30 credits requires me to take so many courses. No courses need to be courses that are applicable to my long-range goal, which is completing a medical doctorate degree. That's how that all works together. Now, having those goals established, saying that I need to take X courses in my freshman year so that I can take the second set of prerequisites in my sophomore year so that when I get into my bachelor's program, I have all the prerequisites completed in my junior year so that when I'm finishing up my senior year, I have all the prerequisites completed so I can apply to medical school. So when I graduate with my bachelor's, I'm able to go straight into medical school. That's how those goals plan to work together to make sure that when you are at your long range goal, you're ready to achieve that goal. We started working on that in class on the very first day. You will continue to work on goal setting throughout your term with me in the semester and hopefully throughout your life, because it is a goal setting requirement for everything you do throughout your life. In addition to that, there's time management. Time management and goal setting go hand in hand. You could basically say they're like two peas in a pod. You have to have them together in order to be successful. So what does time management look like? Well, I'm going to give you 4 rules to success, and I want you to take time to write them down. So I'm going to pause briefly between there. Time management is the easiest thing to do, but it's the most frustrating because of all the other qualities that come in, like procrastination. Time management is the hardest thing to do because of all the things that come into play, like family and procrastination and everything else you want to do to avoid the tasks that you have at hand. So, here are the 4 keys I'm going to give you. 1, be where you're supposed to be. Be where you're supposed to be. 2, be there on time. Be there on time. 3, be in the correct uniform. Be in the correct uniform. And 4, be doing what you were told to do, or in absence of instructions, use initiative. Be doing what you were told to do, or in the absence of instructions, use initiative. If you utilize these 4 keys to success, you will find that people will see you as the most reliable genius that ever walked on this earth. If you go back and look at any time you've gotten in trouble, I can guarantee you failed to do one of the things on that list. Follow the 4 things and you will have 0 problems normally with people, with your job, with your professors, with your family. Now, those 4 keys to success go in hand with something else that's important to me. That's called planning to succeed. That means when you're looking at tasks that you have to accomplish, here's a question. Is it going to take more than 5 minutes? If so, maybe you need to get it done as soon as possible. Is it going to take less than 5 minutes? Maybe it's something you should do right away. If it's going to take more than about 15 minutes, maybe it's something that you should schedule and plan for. So you look at those 3 time hacks. Less than 5 minutes. Do it now. More than 5 minutes up to about 15 minutes. Something you can do within 15 minutes. Plan it and get it done as soon as possible. That means if you can finish up what you're doing and then knock it out, finish what you're doing now, then knock it out, and it's done. If it's going to take more than about 15 minutes, say 20 minutes, an hour, a couple hours, look at your schedule, plan it, make it on your agenda, do it. Items such as journal entries, final essay, group projects, these things normally take you a bit of time to get accomplished, but yet you can still do them within an hour. Schedule, plan, and then the final to all of this is do what you're supposed to do. That means just because you finished it, you're not finished until you submit it. I want you to think about these things I just discussed. We can spend going through the book, which you did do and you will continue to do, Take your quiz, but keep in mind, it's not all complicated. It really is simple. Plan it, execute it. Goal set it, execute it. And you'll find that life gets really simple. I look forward to seeing you in class. This is time management, goal setting. Have a wonderful day.